Hello, I am Maria. I'm a music educator from Cyprus, and today, under the project of MuSTell, I will present to you a traditional story from Cyprus. This story talks about a Hodja. Hodja is the Turkish word used for, let's say, the president of a village, his neighbor, and a donkey. The story actually explains a saying we have in Cyprus that is, you don't believe in me and you believe to my donkey. So let's see what this story talks about. Well, to start this story, I need your help. Do you see this donkey? Well, we need to put on him the bags of wheat so he can carry it and take it to a warehouse from the fields to the warehouses. So, can you help me loading up all the wheat bags to on the back of the donkey? Okay. So, how we're gonna do it? You're gonna hold tight the wheat bag, and then I say one, two, three, four, hey, hop, and put it on the, pretending that you're putting it on the donkey. So I think we have four bags. So we're gonna put two on the right side of the donkey and two on the left side of the donkey. Are you ready with me? Let's do it. One, two, three, four, hey, hop, and one back. Ready, well done. Are you tired? Okay, stretch your shoulders. Let's take the other one. Ready? One, two, three, four, hey, hop, and I put the second one on the other side. Do you think the donkey can take two more bags? Well, let's see. Is this too heavy? Maybe it's too heavy and we cannot move it that big, that cannot swing that much. So let's take it a little bit softer. One, two, three, four. Hey, ho, and yep. We put on the donkey. I think we have one more left. Are you ready? One, two, three, four. Hey, hop, and it's done. I think now we are ready to say our story. Well, once upon a time, there was a Hodja who had a donkey that helped him to do all the work of daily life. The neighbor of Hodja was a poor man who had no donkey. He really needed a donkey, but he couldn't afford to buy it. The wheat bag was so heavy for him to carry, so he has to pull and pull, and he was getting so tired. And in Cyprus, it's too hot, has always been too hot. So our summers are so hot, and you cannot stand the heat. Imagine if you're working in this heat. So the man kept sweating. He was pulling and pulling the heavy bags, and he kept sweating and sweating. Even the man that he had the donkey and he was carrying the bags of wheat on the donkey, still he had to walk slow because the donkey was tired. He was loaded with so much weight, and he was walking in the under the sun, and he was sweating. So now what I want you to do, I want you to walk, pretend that you're these workers, and the poor man who has no donkey. And we're gonna listen to some music, and we're gonna walk around the classroom while you or around your room while pretending that you're in Cyprus in August. It has 40 degrees. It's too hot. You're carrying the bags alone, or you're walking slow leading the donkey to go to your warehouse. Well, are you ready? Let's listen to the music. Are you ready? So we're gonna walk like this. And two, and three, and four, and one, and two, and three, and four. And it's too hot. We're sweating and sweating. But you're the poor one now who's carrying the back of the wheel and he's walking. Walk. It's too heavy. You cannot move a lot. And once every now and then you put the wheel back down just to get the sweat out of your face. And now let's see how the donkeys walk. The donkey is too heavy, the back's for him. So he's walking very slow. The man takes off his hat. He keeps taking off the sweat of him. Now can you keep walking? And imagine you're in Cyprus. It's too hot. You're tired. Well done, everybody. So let's see what happened with the poor neighbor and what did happen with the donkey of the Hodja. Do you think they made it in this hot summer? Let's see what happened. The poor man, he had a very long day because he had to pull one by one all the wheat bags to take them to the warehouse. So can you imagine how he was pulling? Do you remember before how he was pulling? Can you pull with me? Let's say pull and pull and pull and pull. Can you do it one more time? Let's do it. Ready to pull? Pull and pull and pull and pull. Do you remember how hot was it? He was sweating all the time, so he had to swipe off his sweat. Are you ready to swipe off your sweat? Swipe off and swipe off and swipe off and swipe off. So that night, the poor neighbor, he went back home really tired. He was so tired, and even though he was really embarrassed to ask such a favor, he decided to go and ask the Hodja to borrow him his donkey. So he goes and sits in front of Hodja and says, Mr. Hodja, good morning. He had a very shy and maybe shaking voice, and he said, Mr. Hodja, good morning. Can you repeat and pretend that you're an embarrassed poor man that went to Hodja to ask a favor? Can you do this with me? Mr. Hodja, good morning. And then Hodja, who was a rich and strong man, he said, Good morning. Can you say it with me? He said, Good morning. Then the poor neighbor goes to him. He wasn't even looking at him in his eyes and said, Can you borrow me your donkey? The Hodja didn't want to borrow his donkey to the poor man, but also he didn't want to say it straight to his face. So he says, Oh, neighbor, My donkey is not in the stable today. So the poor man, he bends his head down and said, Thank you, master, and he walks away to go back to his home. While passing by the stable of Hodja, he listens. Oh, oh. Can you tell me what's this sound? Yeah, exactly. It was the donkey. Can you make four hiccups with me and pretend that we're the donkeys? Are you ready? Let's go. One, two, three. E-oh, 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 e-oh. Well done, kids. You're all amazing donkeys. So the little man was really, the poor man was really surprised when he heard the sound of the donkey. He was pretty sure that it was the donkey was in the stable and that the Hodja lied to him. While walking away, the donkey still went on braying. Now, can you bray loud? How can you repeat the sound of the donkey but very loud? Are you ready? Let's do it two times this time. One, two, three. Oh, oh. And then the donkey, he started kicking on the stable, on doors of the stable, and because he wanted to go out, so he kicked like one. Can you repeat this with me? How's the sound of the donkeys not kicking the stable to go out? Well done. So the man walks back to the Hodja while listening to the sounds of the loud donkey. So the time he returned back to the house of Hodja, the donkey was still loud and they could hear him. So he goes to Hodja and says, Mr. Hodja, what's this sound? Can you repeat with me? Now he wasn't shy anymore. Can you repeat with me? Mr. Hodja, what's this sound? The donkey's in the stable. The donkey's in the stable, yeah. Can you repeat one more time? Let's say, what did he say? Mr. Hodja, what's this sound? The donkey's in the stable. Then the Hodja stays calm. He looks the poor man in his eyes. He goes straight to him and he says, Neighbor, don't you believe me and you believe my donkey? And from that story, here in Cyprus, we still have the saying, you don't believe in me, you don't believe me, and you believe my donkey. And we use it when someone is really wants to he really lies to us, but we know it. So, but we cannot deny it because remember, Hodja was the president of the village, and he also had the power, and he was richer than the poor man. So the poor man couldn't say anything to him, and that's how Hodja never give his donkey to the poor man, and the poor man returns home. This is exactly how our story ended. The poor man never got the Hodja's donkey, but we still have the saying, "You don't believe in me, and you believe in my donkey." Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.